What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're headed back into the Master League Premier meta. Originally, I was going to make a Shadow Snorlax showcase today, but man, that Pokemon ended up being so bad. I kind of miss the old days of Master League Premier where it was one of the best Pokemon in the game, but it's just been kind of power crept over time. So instead, I decided to build a new team that's about as meta as it gets. It's going to be a Metagross Garchomp core that also has Gyarados slapped on in the middle. Now, Garchomp, I think, is right now the best Pokemon in this format. It is a very bulky Pokemon. It's pretty spammy as well. Dragon and ground coverage is amazing. It's only really weak to the fairies, which is why Metagross is on the team, and Gyarados is here to try to lure out any fairies that might be in the backline. This team looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in action, and it's probably just better than Snorlax. But yeah, real quick before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. Metagross into Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite. Okay, you know, this is an interesting lead matchup here. I have no idea what their moveset's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Thunder Punch, so I bet my Gyarados isn't even the best counter here. And it likely is a superpower coming through right now, too. But that's not super effective. I'm a part Psychic type, so they can do some good chip, but they can't one-shot us. Okay, and Goldengo comes in. Now, I know this Pokemon could have access to Dazzling Gleam here. So maybe I should shield, because I'm also not that worried if I go down shields here that I can't just get them back against that Dragonite. They do Shadow Ball, though, so that shows their moveset. 7 and 8. All right, Earth Power to try to get that shield back. And if they shield, then I also know their moveset now, so I don't have to worry as much about no shielding, like a Dazzling Gleam coming through. They let that go? Okay. And does Dragonite come back in? Because if it does, unless they're on Dragon Claw, they have no real way of knocking out Garchomp without debuffing themselves. And they also took some Shadow Claw damage, so a Twister would do a lot to them if they bring it in. But I guess we'll see. They're thinking for a while here. Yeah, in comes the Dragonite. We have the Twister ready to go, and if they don't throw immediately, I'm just about at the next one. They do have a superpower right now. They're at 10 Dragon Breaths. But if they do that, I still have the energy on Metagross. They do shield. And they throw instantly, like literally instantly. Does a superpower even knock us out? I'm a Garchomp. I mean, maybe it does. It's a Shadow Dragonite, so we'll see. Yeah, not even close, actually. And they come in with a King Gambit. All right. Well, I could have gone for an Earth Power here, obviously, but we didn't. But I also think that's kind of fine. I bet Gyarados is going to be able to spam out Aqua Tails against this. I mean, it should be kind of fine. Because we should get to 2 Aqua Tails here before they can get to the 3rd Foul Play. And they don't two-shot us. So we'll no-shield this. And we still have all the energy on Metagross, right? Yeah, I think the play here is just kind of sacrifice my Gyarados, honestly, at this point. Use it as a way to get shields down, and then we should be able to sweep with Metagross later on. Aqua Tail does a lot, but not quite enough. Okay, I guess I get 1 Dragon Breath for 1 Metal Sound. Maybe that's how the game's supposed to work. Hard to say sometimes. Big foul play. And now Aqua Tail should come close to knocking them out, but it's probably not quite enough. I think they're at 2 right now, right? Okay. I think at this point, I just have so many Pokemon alive. King Gambit has to throw charge attacks at almost every single one of them, or else they're going to get farmed down, and they just don't have the energy that they need. Meteor Mash should get the shield, but the next one here that's about to come through should just straight up get a knockout. We'll see if they go for a superpower or like a Thunder Punch, or maybe they Dragon Claw. No matter what they do, though, this Meteor Mash should still knock them out, so I think we're still fine. Big Meteor Mash. Shadow Dragonite is kind of squishy, so I bet this knocks out. But maybe it survives its Master League, so you never know. Down goes Dragonite. King Gambit's a couple away from the move, but even Shadow Claws here are going to force energy out of them. I still have Garchomp with Mud Shots later on. I can just go for a Meteor Mash even, and yeah, look at that, we get the win. We'll see Metagross into Gyarados. Okay, you know, not a terrible matchup, at least not as bad as you might expect it to be, and they are on Dragon Breath here. I wonder what their charge attack's going to be. If they're on Crunch, it could be like slightly worse for us than I'd like. But if it's just on Aqua Tail, they don't even go for a 2-shot with Aqua Tails. They need 3 of those to knock us out. And Shadow Claws and Meteor Mashes add up so quickly against Gyarados. Okay. I'm going to switch out here, try to catch a move if possible. We don't quite catch it, but they still throw it anyway. We'll see what they're on. Likely Twister the way they played this out, but I'm kind of scared in the backline there could be a Fairy type. So I want to try to bait it out before my Metagross dies if possible. Yeah, they are on Twister. So they're probably happy that I've given them an opportunity to use this energy aside from on Metagross, but I'm also happy just saving my Metagross. Twister again. That hurts, but we do survive. Oh, nice catch. I wish I didn't throw that. I'll be honest. But it's fine, because sometimes you throw the wrong move. I bet it's a potential Garchomp in the backline. They're at 6, so they have their next move. I think what I'm going to do here is just switch into my own Metagross again. 7, 8, 9. And they throw when they're at the Earthquake here. I'm going to shield this up. And likely we just shield a Meteor Mash. But no, we shield the Earthquake, which is a huge shield. Right, I'm at back-to-back here. Might as well throw before they get to a Meteor Mash. I want to save some HP if I can, just to make it a little bit uncomfortable, just in case it is going to be like a Garchomp back there. We know the moveset on the Gyarados. If they bring that back in, I'm not that threatened by a charge move, but they do still have the Gyarados around. Okay, not a Pokemon I was expecting to see, but maybe it's still kind of fine with my Garchomp being in the back. They're at 5, so they have a Foul Play ready to go. I'm going for a bit of a risky bait here, but we get the shield. And we win CMP. That's huge. That is insane. They're at 4 right now, so they do have access to another Foul Play after one more Metal Sound, but being able to get this off... Oh my goodness, they let it go! They must have thought that I wasn't quite there. This might be insane. I'm going to shield this up, because I want to save the fast move pressure at this point. And they do Foul Play us, but I don't think that's going to put us into range where a Twister from that Gyarados knocks us out. And I get 3 mud shots from my trouble here, so I should be able to get to 2 Twisters, probably, against the Gyarados. 1 Twister coming through, but we'll see. Maybe they do still have a chance, because their Gyarados is well outside of farm down range, which could be scary. But I do still have energy on my Metagross. I'm outside of Aqua Tail range on Metagross too, so unless they can, like, one-shot us right here with a Twister, and then get to, like, 2 Aqua Tails against our Metagross, I think I should be fine. But we'll find out, won't we? Twister, it's super effective, but non-stab into Garchomp doesn't do that much damage. So we just go for the Twister here. We get the knockout. And man, Metagross put in so much work this game. It was able to just destroy the King Gambit despite the type disadvantage, having the energy and winning CMP. That's insane. All right, Metagross into Garchomp. Not a great lead matchup here. I'll be the first to admit, especially if I, like, can't switch out immediately. Ooh, okay. Not a great Pokemon to see in the backline, but it's also, like, deceptively not bad. Man, these animations are a little bit off. I do still get my Aqua Tail through here. At least I have my Garchomp to wall this Pokemon's energy, right? But they can farm us all the way down here, which is a little bit sad. I think, though, I'm going to just undercharge this quite a bit. That way I get more energy out of my Garchomp. Okay. And we'll see what they want to throw here. Maybe throw on Flash Cannon. I have seen that moveset a couple of times recently, but I think Flash Cannon still wouldn't do all that much to us. And really just getting that much energy on Garchomp is going to be kind of hard for them to come back from, I hope. They get the instant debuff. Don't love to see that, especially because they come back in with the Garchomp here. Great, thank you for debuffing us. That's so kind of you. They save a lot of energy on the Magnezone. Man, that debuff's going to be so good for them, because now my Twister does nothing. They are best-buddied Garchomp, so that's also important to note. And the switch clocks are very misaligned right now. They do let that go. But maybe they're in Shadow Claw downrange eventually now. I do have to shield this up. I would get basically one shot by a charge attack here, but they probably bait us because they're annoying. At least they don't, but they probably get a debuff, right? Okay, they don't get that either. Garchomp is so much bulkier than I'd like it to be. Meteor Mash should still do a lot of damage, though. Like, it will knock him out if they let it go. They shield. Yeah, the problem that I'm seeing here is they've banked a Wild Charge still. And I think they get to another Earth Power here, so... You know what I mean? Like, that does sound problematic, doesn't it? I'm kind of surprised they swapped out. Because Wild Charge doesn't one-shot us by any means. Can I ever farm this down before they get their next move? I hope I can. I can't. Great. Well, that's unfortunate. If I could have farmed that down, I honestly think there could have been some play for us. I do have a lot of energy on my Metagross. but honestly, I don't think it's going to do that much for us. Okay, I want to be as low as possible here, I guess. I don't know. I want to be in a spot where, like, if it's like a Togekiss in the back line, no, it does not matter what's in the back. Oh, man. Them getting that debuff, that's like the make or break moment this game. If they didn't get debuff from this Garchomp, I would have farmed them down by now. Okay, well, we see it's just a Metagross in the back line. Yeah, that was just like, that was unfortunate through and through. It's pretty bad RPS at the start. It could have almost been playable, but then it just wasn't. Regular Dragonite on the lead. All right, a little bit bulkier than the Shadow variant, but it's still a Pokemon that doesn't really want to take a Meteor Mash here. And they'll likely just build up to back-to-back superpower. Not the best timing by them. I snuck a full Shadow Claw, so I do wonder if they're going to just go for like a double superpower instantly, or maybe a Thunder Punch. Okay, that doesn't do that much. And saying they're on Thunder Punch, it's good that I'm avoiding that matchup here with my Gyarados. 6. Okay. Meteor Mash does a lot. I'll shield the first just to guarantee that I can get something out of this. 5, 6. So they have their next Meteor Mash now. I should survive it, though. And then I can get to another Earth Power. I'll be interested to see how they play this out. I have a lot of energy on my Metagross. I do shield. Good overfarm by them. I'll let this go. They have a lot of energy still in the Dragonite, too. Nice. We live that. We can go for the Earth Power now. And if they no-shield this, they get knocked out. If they shield, then I have the energy on my Metagross potentially I can use. They do let it go. I don't want to give a farm down over to Dragonite, so if that comes in, I guess I'm just going to switch out, right? And we'll go for the back-to-back Meteor Mash that we have loaded. I've saved a bit of my Garchomp, which hopefully is good. Like, if there's a Magnezone in the back line, just a little bit of Garchomp can be so bad for them. Oh, well played, though. Nice catch. I should have overfarmed there, because if I did, I would have been able to get to an Earthquake and basically just one-shot this. But, I mean, Meteor Mash still does a lot of damage. And now that there's no shields left in play for them, I can go for a Twister into the Dragonite later on. And I know I don't get two-shot by Foul Play, so I need 2 Aqua Tails here and 1 Twister for the other guy, and I should be good. But I need to build up energy on my Gyarados. I'd love to bring in Garchomp here, but I feel like at this point, I just need to have enough energy to outpace the Dragonite to a Twister before they're going to be able to go for the Thunder Punch into us. They're at 5, this could definitely be a Foul Play. In fact, it's like, that's all it could be. That's a lie, it could be an X-Scissor, but that would do less. All right. And they do CMPS here, but that means I guarantee to land my Twister. Now that I'm seeing it, though, I really have to hope that a Twister is enough to knock them out. They're actually still pretty healthy. So I'm unsure if that's going to be the case. Come on, Twister, I believe in you, Gyarados. I don't know if I should believe that much, though. Oh, I was going to swap one later. That's actually kind of tragic, isn't it? I thought I was in a good spot because I was like, Gyarados beats Dragon types. That's Great League mindset coming through right there, though. It, in fact, does not beat those. I needed to get that catch off. That's tragic, man. Dragonite, non-Shadow Dragonite, actually a lot bulkier there. Metagross into Metagross. Okay, mirror match here. I wonder what they're going to throw, because, I mean, Meteor Mash is such a likely thing for them to throw here into us. They're also best buddied, so they guarantee to win CMP against us. Try to catch, although, what the heck? I mean, I'll take this any day of the week. They, I guess, try to catch as well on their Garchomp. I would much rather be on this side of things, I'm not going to lie. They do have a full Earthquake loaded, though, on the Metagross. Twister will come close to two-shotting, but not quite. 3, so they have access to another Twister with one more Mud Shot here. But we can neutralize most of this Garchomp. I wouldn't be surprised if that means their final Pokemon could also be a Gyarados. Or, okay. We live this. If I can get a farm down, that would be great, but non-stab Dragon Breath doesn't do all that much damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if I couldn't. Yeah, I have to throw energy here. If they want to shield this, that would be perfect for me. I would not mind at all, but I would imagine they just let this go. And they come back in Metagross and try to farm us down. Yeah, they do let that through. Makes sense. And we'll just swap out instantly and go for an Earthquake here. They might try to call it, they might not. The wonders of the Go Battle League is you never know what they want to do. Okay, well, that's why you full send, I guess. Oh, it's a Primarina in the backline. Is this Charm or Waterfall? Okay. Well, Waterfall is actually quite a bit better here for my Garchomp to see. And it's also like, there's so much of my Metagross to go through, too. I get a lot of Shadow Claw damage. I guarantee 2 Meteor Mashes to land here. And then an Earth Power should just knock out. You know, that could have been so much worse for us if they would have simul-swapped with a Primarina into our Gyarados. But, like, they would never bring a Primarina into a Metagross. That makes sense why that happened. Big Meteor Mash. And we can go for another one right about now. And I think once we land this, or we get the shield, we should just be able to bring in Garchomp. And then Earth Power, and that's all we need. Yep, we get the shield. Earth Power should do at least half their HP, right? Garchomp's kind of an insane Pokemon in this meta. So much so that I bet I survive a Disarming Voice here, but in case it's like a Moonblast, I'm not going to risk it. But I bet even a Moonblast we might be able to survive. Hydro Cannon we definitely could. But I'm not risking it. Not at all. Okay, the top left. GG's. Okay, Metagross into Florges. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful leader. Backline is pretty scared of this Pokemon, though, so if possible, I want to make sure that I can win Switch. So I'm just going to go straight for the Meteor Mash. This should chip them down into a range where my own Gyarados can guarantee Switch against them, and then I should be able to win this game, hopefully. Just by RPSing them, that'd be great. I would take it. They could be on Outrage, I guess. I know that's a coverage move they used to run, but I bet it's just a Twister or a Crunch coming through. Yeah, just a Twister even. That doesn't do that much. They're in range, though, where a Twister would knock them out, or close to it, at least. I'm going to just keep on overfarming for a second here, because I know if they survive on 1 HP, I'd rather have more energy in the backline anyway. Yeah, okay. And we'll Twister before they get to an Aqua Tail. If they really want to, they could probably try to go down Shields and flip Switch, but I've learned from experience, Florges is actually not that good of a counter into Garchomp, especially up Shields and up Energy, so I guess they do just opt to let that go. Florges likely going to get a full farm down here. If I get to 3 Aqua Tails, that's not great for them, just because that would start chunking down quite a bit, but it looks like they might just take 2. They're at 5, so they have a Chilling Water or a Trailblaze. Eight. Yeah, it looks like they can farm us down. They'll come out of this with 100 energy, which is a little bit scary, but honestly, this chip damage is not bad at all. It's putting them close to even Shadow Claw downrange, potentially. 10. Okay, so they actually only come out with 90 energy, so it could be worse. Okay, King Gambit in the back. I think this is a pretty good matchup for Garchomp, right? I'd have to imagine. If it's not, then I don't know anything about this game. Yeah, they just give up. We'll take that. Okay, Metagross into Garchomp. Not a great lead, I'd have to say. I'm going to just switch out here into my Gyarados and hope for the best. Well, that's not the best, I will say. A little bit of lag coming through here. Hopefully it's not going to impact things too much. They're at 8, so they have a Dazzling Gleam +1, or I have seen Ancient Power in this meta, which means they could be at an Ancient Power +2. 9, 10... Okay, so at this point they have 10. This could be a Gleam. This could just be a Psyshock even. We'll see. It is Gleam, so they're at 3. But we live that. 5. And honestly, since they're probably on Aura Sphere here, my Metagross is not that scared of this matchup. I'm going to try to, like, stall the switch clock, like, delay it a little bit, just to, like, make it a little bit awkward for them. Potentially. Allegedly, we'll see. We're going to try our best to dance around here. Garchomp really only has charge attack pressure against us, so if I can make it so... Of course, they get the debuff. If I can make it so I can save my Metagross later on, that would be huge. But that debuff doesn't help anything. That's going to make it so now I'm taking a lot more damage than I would otherwise care to. Meteor Mash does get the shield. They have their next move. I'm probably going to just try to throw it. Looks like on CMP, yeah. This isn't looking amazing. I will be the very first to admit that. But at least they do double nuke us. They could have gone for a bait, and that would have been remarkably annoying. You get the shield, okay. Nice catch by them. Wow. They catch on the Togekiss. I can't believe they just did that. I really can't, honestly. Wow, you know what? Fair play to them. That's an incredible play that they just went for. That is remarkably bad for us. Wow. Ah. Anything else that could have happened there would have been so much infinitely better, not gonna lie. But, you know what? Sometimes you just get completely danced on in this meta. Yeah, it's like they have so much energy. I need to be able to overfarm here, but I just can't. And now I'm in the worst possible spot possible in this meta. They're just gonna go here and wall everything Garchomp can do. They do technically, like, get knocked out by a Twister, I guess. But it probably doesn't matter. Maybe, like, what could happen here is if they're going for an Aura Sphere, then they try to combo play with Garchomp. Maybe there's a chance... Oh, they're at a Gleam. You know, my counts were anywhere near that they were at a Gleam. Yeah, they can just, like, combo us at any arbitrary time and just win the game that way. Oh, man. I don't like Master League Premier, I don't think, right now. It feels so RPS. We've just been RPS, like, the last couple of losses. And, like, our last couple of wins have just been RPS, too. Oh my goodness, Avalugg? What is this thing doing here? Goldengo on the safe swap. It's on Astonish, too. This is, like, the most astonishing thing I've seen all day. We'll go for the Earth Power instantly, just to try to get his shield down first, because if I don't have to go down shields here, I'm pretty happy. But they probably do just let this go, and farm me all the way down with Avalugg. Oh, they don't. They actually shield that. 7? I mean, this might be greedy of me, but do I get knocked out by a Shadow Ball? No, I think I might get to another Earth Power. I'm not that scared of Avalugg, and I'm really not scared of just having a 2-shield advantage Metagross either. So that's what we're going to try to go for. Earth Power gets a second shield, okay. I think now I just bring back in Metagross here, and I get up as much energy as I can. Shadow Ball means now they're going to be just at 1 Astonish. They should be 4 more away from the next move. And they're in range where a Meteor Mash knocks out. Goldengo's not a bulky Pokemon. 2, 3, 4. I will throw this before they get the Astonish off, though, just to save some HP, just in case I have to. They're at 5, so, I mean, if they somehow don't get knocked out here, they have a Shadow Ball, but, I mean, yeah, that's way more than enough. It's gotta be like a second Steel type, right? Oh, it's a Gyarados, actually. Okay. Well, that's not the worst case scenario. I'm gonna Meteor Mash immediately, just to chip them down into a range where it's a lot more awkward for them to deal with my own Gyarados later on with this thing. And that's only an Aqua Tail, right? Am I crazy, or is that just an Aqua Tail? I think it is. Yeah, they threw that so quickly. I'm gonna bank a Mash then. And then come in Gyarados here. And if they don't swap instantly, which, I mean, they swap quickly, but not, like, instantly. 7. This thing gets Icy Wind, right? Icy Wind Avalanche, I think. Which could make things annoying if they, like, start stalling the game forever. But we'll see, because I think we're still in a pretty good spot, honestly. I hope. They do Icy Wind bait. Good bait by them. Okay. I would love it if I could switch out at some point here, but I don't think the switch clock is going to be quite back up yet. Which could be bad, actually. Okay, it's up in the perfect time, actually. Right before they can switch, but right when I can. So I can snipe down all of the energy of Avalugg, and now I have energy on my Gyarados, too. So we should be in a good spot here. We'll get a couple more Shadow Claws to put them into Twister range, and they need 2 Twisters against us. They win CMP. I didn't actually see if they were best buddied or not, but I think at this point they're nowhere near back-to-back Twisters. At least not close enough, right? I guess an Aqua Tail could be enough to knock us out after the fact, but we did get the CMP. They'd have to basically be at the move right now and survive this attack if they want to live and win this game. Oh, that's just enough. Let's go. GG's. Another Avalugg? Alright, well, now I know how, like, scuffed this matchup can be. Alright. I mean, this should be a pretty good matchup for us here. They're on Rock Wrecker, right? So that would one-shot us. They could just Drill Run bait, but I feel like a Drill Run bait is diabolical in this position, so I'm going to shield up anyway. Yeah, they Rock Wrecker. Makes sense. I could have also brought in my Garchomp here, but I feel like they're trying to bait out Garchomp with this. Like, surely, right? We'll go for the Aqua Tail as quickly as we can. That's a lie. We overfarmed a lot. But we'll throw it at some point here. And this isn't going to one-shot them, but I'm hoping 6 more Dragon Breaths are enough to knock them out. Which they are. Nice. So now I have a lot of energy for the Avalugg if it comes back in. And we still have a Metagross, and we still have a Garchomp. So I think we're not in a terrible position. But Avalugg should be able to survive these attacks pretty well. We just saw one a second ago, so we know Gyarados doesn't do that much damage here. But I do get to 3 Aqua Tails, which is kind of cool. We're at 6, so I guess Body Slam, if they have it, is reached. But that wouldn't knock us out. Big Aqua Tail again. 7. Alright. They can't overfarm much at all here. So likely what we're going to see is they're just going to throw almost immediately just to knock us out. And then... I mean, does Avalanche even knock us out, though? It's an Avalugg. I'm doing no damage to it, so I'm hoping it does no damage to me. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Oh, Icy Wind definitely doesn't knock us out. That is nothing. Alright. Well, this is fine. I mean, we're going to get rid of this Avalugg, I guess. We'll have 3 Pokemon against 1. We'll see what that 1 is going to be, though, right? Could always be kind of a tricky Pokemon if it's like a Garchomp in the backline. It actually is, okay. But I don't think it's actually that bad for us. All things considered, right? Because I still have a lot of fast food pressure I can get here with Shadow Claws, as well as Meteor Mash. And if I can just put them into a range where I can knock them out with a Twister from my own Garchomp, we should be good. They do shield. And they throw pretty early on here as well. This might be crazy, but just in case they're on Outrage, I'm going to let this go. Because even though I could get more Shadow Claw damage against them, I think at this point, with the fact that I still have my Gyarados around, I think it's still fine. And if they are on Outrage, I don't want to be in a spot where I just get one shot on my Garchomp. So that's why we're doing this. Big Twister. Do we get a shield on this? I mean, probably, right? This is going to be the highest damaging move they could take this game. Shield this up. Or do we? Yeah, we do. That's why we save the shield. Just in case it's Outrage. And then we'll try our best to win. They need 2 Twisters to knock us out. And we still have our Gyarados around. So we'll see how much this does. Maybe it puts them just into farm down range even for mud shots. Yeah, I think at this point they're going to be able to just get farmed down here before anything too bad happens. They need 3 Twisters right now. 1 for my Gyarados and 2 for my Garchomp. And that's just not going to be possible, I don't think. Yeah, they can't farm us down. We even just get the next move. Beautiful. See, that's why we saved the shield, just in case they're on Outrage, even though they weren't on Outrage, just in case they were. I don't want to get one shot and just completely lose the game that way. We will take it, though. Metagross into Avalugg. Dude, a 3rd Avalugg? Okay. Well, that's pretty base, but, like, why? 6. They have a Meteor Mash now. I mean, I know I survived this move. I don't want to go down shields when there's an Avalugg lead. Why are there so many Avaluggs right now? This is incredible. Five, 6. All right. They have their next Meteor Mash here in just a second. Well, they have it now, rather. But I feel like this is still looking pretty fine for us because I guarantee a shield goes down with this move. And, I mean, I'll guarantee at least another one goes down. I want to try our best here to dance around a little bit. We've done a lot of fast food pressure, and that's all you can really ask for sometimes in the Go Battle League. We'll go for the instant Earth Power. And now, I think, honestly, if they shield this up, I'm just going to hard pivot to my Metagross. Because I don't want to give a farm down over. And up a shield, Metagross is generally really hard to take down. Yeah, like, this is not even an answer up a shield, right? But with that said, there is, like, a lot of energy still on their Metagross. Why are they not throwing? This is crazy. Them not throwing immediately is strange to me, but that might actually work out a little bit in their favor. They do Earth Power, okay. And they debuff us, why wouldn't they? I would imagine what we're going to see here is they probably just bring the Metagross back in, right? Because they did debuff us. I should be in range where a Meteor Mash basically knocks us out. So I will switch out. Like, there's no way they come in Avalugg. They can't.
but they're like thinking maybe they should. I don't know. You do get to switch out here. Avalugg does come back in, but honestly, that Metagross does have a lot of HP left over on it. It could be a scary game. 8. This could come down to like a 50-50 call in the back line. Honestly, I just hope they just knock us out instantly with a move. I mean, they basically almost do. I mean, not even, though. Ah, why is this not doing more damage to us? Now I have to, like, call the 50-50 at some point this game. I hate this so much. I was, like, hoping that I wouldn't have to stall the switch clock so long this game. 6. But now I have to call, like, a 50-50 happening with what the Metagross wants to do. And, like, I didn't even see. Are they best buddied? They might be. 7. Okay, well, actually, I knocked this out. So maybe there's not a catch opportunity for them. It's going to be weird. It's going to be really weird. I don't like any of this, though, still. Okay, there's no catch opportunity. Okay. They aren't best buddied. Okay, if they just blind Earthquake here, they can win this game. But if this is a Meteor Mash, which it should be, then I do survive that. I have my next move, and we get it off. Okay, that was so annoying. I hated everything about that. But we luckily forced him to drain energy into Garchomp. And because of that, we actually catch a Meteor Mash here, and we get the win. That was so dumb. I hated that game. But also, like, we won, so maybe I liked that game. It's really hard to say. Avalugg's way bulkier than I would have thought. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We did, in fact, get a 4-1 set. I didn't know I had it in me. But this team's just kind of insane. It's like, it wasn't even me. It was just the team carrying me today because of how strong it is. I gotta say, this team is about as good as it gets. I'm not so sure if I really like this meta a lot right now. It does feel a little bit RPS, but even still, if you want to use a team that gives you the best chances of winning, I think, honestly, this one's probably just about it. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.